Okay, today is October 12th. We're still working on the 10 Cloud Commandment song. Today's goal is to re record the vocals, but better than I did the rough draft on Saturday. Let's get to it. Hmm. Okay, first thing I need to do. Shoot. I need Biggie's original vocals. Why do I not have those in here? That's kind of crazy just to think about. Where would I get that from? I do need them in here. You crazy? Let's go grab them from YouTube. I am gonna need them. Need it. Why is this? Every bar I want it to be recorded with the same emphasis and tact that Biggie had. Since the quality of this doesn't matter that much, I could screen record it. Nah, I think the quality does kind of matter.
Figuring out he would never do that to them. Like I don't like his music is more of it's not just the lifestyle, it's more of like some non-tangible stuff of just like how your mind works and like how your heart feels, truth be told. That's what's
I agree with it. I agree with it because I feel like when you say like the lifestyle and all that, I feel like he figured out the lifestyle once he like really got this shot like within it. I don't think it was like if you go back and you look, you can see him wearing like white Timbs and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like he was figuring out. He would never do that today. Like I don't think he would ever do a lot of the shit that he did before today as far as like his lifestyle. But I think he figured out along the way. But it's more about the mood and the feeling and the music.
Yeah, like Cash Money, like Birdman. Remember, just Cash Money with they had like 1 million cars. That was selling lifestyle.
Yeah,
I think Drake, I don't think Drake does that.
Okay. I'm still curious to see though if he makes his transition back into film. Last story for you guys today. During a recent interview with Power 106, Sway Lee said he'd be down for a Ray Shrummer versus Migos battle on Versus. He said he thinks it's going to be a tough one since they have so many hits and a great catalog, but Migos also has a solid catalog. Mike Will chimed in. He would also like to see this battle happen. Do you guys think this would be a good matchup if the Migos would agree?
I think it would be a good matchup, but I can't tell you the last time I seen all three of them in the same room. You know what I mean? Like, well, I think it would be a good matchup. I think that Ray Shrummer, while Sway Lee does get most of the credit, they're very underrated in the fact of them being a group and the type of music that they made. I think a lot of people thought that when they made No Flex Zone, it was going to be one hit wonders, including myself. I didn't think that they were, not to say that they weren't talented, I just didn't see the vision the first time I heard the records, but they definitely go hold their own. They definitely got shit big, really, really major, massive music, and so does Migos. So that would be dope. And it would be very memeable. It would be very
Michael, I know you're watching this, so don't get mad at me. I'm just spitting facts. This is all going to hinge on are features allowed. And by the way, I would imagine Sway Lee would want features to be allowed because he, like, again, a hit for a 20 for 20, you want Unforgettable up in there. That's kind of your record, but really it's Frenchie's, right? Now, here's the thing. Not only do I think there's a strong 10 to 15 just hood joints from the Migos that I don't know how the fuck you gonna beat Fight Night. I don't know how you gonna beat Hannah Montana. I don't know how you gonna be like Handsome and Wealthy. I don't know how you gonna beat some of these songs. These songs is like really, they were going crazy. Okay? Now, by the way, and it's no slight to Ray Shrummer, but I do think that songs is like really, they were going crazy. Okay? Now, by the way, and it's no slight to Ray Shrummer, but I do think that even all three of the Migos and them branching out and, doing records with other people. Quavo did a whole tape with Travis Scott. Quavo and Thug have had a bunch of collabs. Takeoff has done. So I think it might sway in, no pun intended, sway in the favor of the Migos. But I do think when we do look at the biggest songs other than Bad and Bougie, Ray Shrummer probably have 3 over the Migos. Just in the biggest songs. But the length of the catalog, Migos is with it. If it's 10 for 10,
no, I got the Migos. Ultimately, when it all goes down, because like the good point you brought up is it's like when you factor in all the other shit, like when you put in Emmitt Smith.
That's what I said.
Like the songs that people might not even know, that's still big songs. Like when you start factoring those, that's when you start to change the whole conversation.
Yeah. Migos, who they said, "You better come listen to some of this music." Talking about we near and beat on the clock. You tweaking? The Migos, their catalog is definitely like I think it's just way longer than Ray Shrummer's. If you ask me,
that would be a really good lead up to dropping new music though from the Migos.
From both of them. And by the way, to be fair, I gotta throw in Black Beatles, No Type, shit.
And Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
I'm missing out a bunch of records from Ray Shrummer, but they're definitely no slouch. Definitely no slouch. But both to me, 2 legendary groups.
Yeah. Swing, you got the swing in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got a lot of
throw some more. Gotta throw some more in there. Mm-hmm. Of course.
All right. Well, guys, that is our show for today. Thank you for sending so many fan questions. We'll get into some of those on tomorrow's episode. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Send us more things. We're on Twitter at Everyday Struggle with 2 G's. Thank you for watching Everyday Struggle. We'll see you tomorrow on Complex.
I know this is after we wrap, but could Sway Lee play Sicko Mode? He's technically on it.
Oh my God. Peace, y'all.
Okay.
Type of medication, but otherwise they gave me some. It was interesting. They gave me another type of test that I actually scored 3rd highest in the nation. And then so from that process of thinking like something might be wrong with this child.
Uh-huh.   Uh-huh.
And so I realized the worst thing that happened to me is in some society of life, some social society, not in a nation. Then I found a mountain. I got way up high on top of my life and looked back down on it and said, okay, tribulations, all the evil shit that people try to do to you, that sort of set you up to be able to deal in a way that a lot of people can't. Well, I used to look at my life from a different vantage point. And when you're in all the muck and you're just walking in muck and walking in muck and walking in muck, you don't see that if you look off to the fucking left of the muck, there's a sidewalk, brother. Get off of it. You have your head down looking in this muck. Once I saw the sidewalk, got the sidewalk, I got a little break. Then I got a different vantage point. And then from the sidewalk, I found a cliff. Then I found a mountain. I got way up high on top of my life and looked back down on it and said, okay, I got to figure this out, man. I'm not going anywhere. I'm starting to lie. So when you have a messed up foundation, I started lying about everything. I wanted people to like me. I wanted to be accepted in some society of life, some social society. This isn't the right. I messed up everywhere. And so I realized the worst thing that happened to me is I lost myself. I never had myself. I never found myself. I had no self-esteem. So I knew through working out and through learning, God, it took a lot for me to learn also. I started finding self-esteem. Once I found that, that's when doors started opening up. I started caring about people, that what they thought, being judged. Wow, if I said.
Oh, come on. Trying to find this website to download the song from. Right here. There it is. Okay, never mind. I thought I plugged this in. It's not. Let me get back on my screen. Another block if you want.
skills. You want to go from 1 million to 100 million? It's about people. There's no algorithm. There's no platform. There's no fucking math arbitrage. To build something from 1 million to 100 million, you will have to tap into your EQ skills, not your IQ skills. And you'll have to realize if you're even capable of it, because if you're not, you're going to have to bring in a partner or somebody you trust for life to build out that. Because you have to scale humans. And to scale humans, you have to know how to deal with humans. You want to go from 1 million to 100 million? It's about people. There's no algorithm. There's no platform. There's no...
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another workout videos with... You need to say yes, plan.
what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all gather around, let me run it down. You understand me? Yeah, y'all get your ass on in. Yeah. You like, see? About this after, talk about this after this.
What is JULY supposed
Muy bien, pero un poco cansado.
Here it is. Online video converter, what the hell? Well, I guess this is a new song. This is taking way longer than I was expecting. It's so annoying. What's going on, man? Let me check it out on my other computer. See if I have any up there. Wow.
Well, I want to pivot a little bit and talk about the takeaways here for the reader. I mean, we talked about the accountability mirror a little bit. We talked about visualization and taking souls. But let's talk a little bit about how journaling has been instrumental in this journey that you've been on.
Yeah, so basically, I've been journaling now for several years. And I should have brought my journal with me, man. I mean, I have several of them. I have these little green military notebooks that I've kept. I actually put a couple in the book there and come and write out.
Yeah, I'm cool.
But I write down my day. And what I do is I go back and study that day. Like sometimes I might get sick. I might be overtrained. I might gain a couple pounds here. I might feel whatever. It's like my accountability journal of what I'm doing with my life, physical, mental. I had an eating journal, all this shit. And it helps me go back to, once again, study. I'm a lab rat. And I study myself. And I'm like, when I'm feeling fucked up, I go, okay, what did I do last week? And usually I can find out where I messed up last week. You know, how much I'm traveling, how much I'm sleeping, how much I'm doing all this stuff. And through journaling, man, you can really figure out so much about where you're messing up in life and what you need to fix about yourself.
Taking constant inventory. Being honest about that.
And that's the thing about it. You cannot put bullshit in there. Yeah. It's got to be a real journal about, hey, today I messed up here. Today I should have been a better person here, and not just saying it, but actually trying to fix it tomorrow.
Do you extend that accountability to including, like, bringing in like a close circle of friends and mentors so they know what's going on, or are you just accountable to yourself? Like, if somebody's looking at this and saying, well, I could do that, but how do you feel about letting others in on your goals and having like external pressure to hold you accountable?
No, there's no external pressure. That's
you don't need it.
No,
you know what I mean. But I think other people.
Oh yeah, it's important to have circles. It's important to have like I talk about, man, like that big rabbit hole of bad people that you want to get away from. Like if you're a drunk and you want to stop drinking, you gotta get away from those people. You want to build this nucleus around you of people who are saying it's not okay to sleep in today. We gotta get after it. Hey, let me see your journal. You're supposed to be running 5 miles today. You only ran 3. You got to have those people. Some people need those people, and it's important. But you want to get to the point in your life, it's real important that you hold yourself accountable, and those people start to fade away because you now got it. You want to be that person because they're not always going to be there to hold your hand. I'm not the best at anything. I'm not gifted. I'm just driven. I'm a guy that came from nothing. Anybody's capable of doing shit like this. Anybody. And I sat in that tub. She put the water on me. She called my mom up. My mom was dating a doctor at the time. The doctor said, you need to get him to a hospital now. She came back in. All I want to do is call Chris Costner on the phone, the race director of Bad Water, and say I can get it. So she said, I'm taking it to the doctor. I said, no, let me sit here and enjoy this pain. She said, what are you talking about? I said, I need to go to the doctor. I realized that. But I never thought it was humanly possible to do what I did. I went 70 miles. And at 70 miles, I was dead. I was at 100%. What I thought was 100%. I went 31 more miles. Called me back up. I thought I was gonna get like a met.
hate this. I hate this so much. Come on, man. Well, y'all having a hell of a time downloading this song. Pissing me off to the max. Move this out the way, please. You know what? I think I've already downloaded it, to be honest with you. If I go here, and then I go downloads. It is not here.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
There's somebody here. Oh, nigga.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 crack commandments. One.
Alright. Well, apparently I have the file now. See if I can find it. Oh, video playback. Okay, well, good to know. I'm gonna keep moving forward. What was going on? Wait, what? Okay. Fuck. This thing forever. Be back. It's late. It's mad late. Very curious indeed, huh?
Are you an independent artist? You got a dope record? Are you an independent artist? You got a dope record? You need Project Media.
Yeah, it's just so crazy, right? All right, this is the official stream for today. Let me see something. So we got the Biggie track.
Caring about that. And that's when my life started really changing for me, slowly but surely.
That's such an important point when you're talking about the working out, because a lot of people, when they think about working out, they think of it as being a physical thing.
Right, no. I did it for mental.
Yeah.
People always say, my God, like, no, don't look at it like, I didn't care about losing weight. I didn't care about being the fastest person. I wasn't making the Olympics. I wasn't going to pros. I could barely read and write when I was in this. If I started right now, are you gonna make fun of me? I stopped caring about that. And that's when my life started really changing for me, slowly but surely.
That's such an important...
In some society of life, some social society. And I was like, man, this isn't the right way. I'm messed up here, I'm messed up here, I'm messed up everywhere. And so I realized the worst thing that happened to me is I lost myself. I never had myself. I never found myself. I had no self-esteem. So I knew through working out and through learning, because it took a lot for me to learn also, I started finding self-esteem. Once I found that, that's when doors started opening up. I stopped caring about people, that what they thought, being judged. Wow, if I say this, if I started right now, are you gonna make fun of me? I stopped caring about it. You're just walking in muck and walking in muck and walking in muck. You don't see that if you look off to the fucking left of the muck, there's a sidewalk, brother. Get off of it. You have your head down looking in this muck. Once I saw the sidewalk, got the sidewalk, I got a little break. Then I got a different vantage point. And then from the sidewalk, I found a cliff. Then I found a mountain. I got way up high on top of my life and looked back down on it and said, okay, I got to figure this out, man. I'm not going anywhere. I'm starting to lie. So when you have a messed up foundation, I started lying about everything. I wanted people to like me. I wanted to be accepted in some society of life, some social society. And I was like, man, this isn't the right way. I'm messed up here, I'm messed up here, I'm messed up everywhere. And so I realized the worst thing that happened to me is I lost myself. I never had myself. I never found myself. I had no self-esteem. So I knew through working out and through learning, God, it
gets murdered.
No, man, your struggle is what made you who you are now. So I started flipping this into a whole different, I started being a master of what I was scared of. I was scared of my mind. And I became literally a master of that mind. And that's what now, from now on, it sets me apart from most people. I started diving into that.
Well, that is a big part of the stories when you go over your childhood and, you know, your abusive father and then having this great guy that was going to become your stepdad and then he gets murdered. It's like right when you're about to get out of it, everything looks good, boom, and then he gets murdered. It's like these things really did sort of set you up to start from scratch again and just go, okay, roger that, we start from scratch. And now you have that attitude. You developed it through all of these horrible personal experiences, all the trials and tribulations, all the evil shit that people try to do to you. That sort of set you up to be able to deal in a way that a lot of people can't.
Well, I used to look at my life from a different vantage point. And when you're in all the muck and you're just walking in muck and walking in muck and poopy pants, kicking rock down the street mentality, it was God just hooked you right the fuck up. He hooked you right up, man, with the perfect place. You were training. For the first 18, 19, 20, you were training for this stuff, man. You had the advantage of everybody else versus, my God, they're so above me. They came from a great family. Mom and dad love them. They didn't have to learn. They didn't stutter. They didn't struggle. No, man, your struggle is what made you who you are now. So I started flipping this into a whole different, I started being a master of what I was scared of. I was scared of my mind. And I became literally a master of that mind. And that's what now, from now on, it sets me apart from most people. I started diving into that.
Well, that is a big part of the stories when you go over your childhood and, you know, your abusive father and then having this great guy that was going to become your stepdad and then he gets murdered. It's like right when you're about to get out of it, everything looks good, boom, and then he gets murdered. It's like these things really did sort of set you up to start from scratch again and just go, okay, roger that, we start from scratch. And now you have that attitude. You developed it through all of these horrible personal experiences, all the trials and tribulations, all the evil shit that people try to do to you. That sort of set you up to be able to deal in a way that a lot of people can't.
Well, I used to look at my life from a different vantage point. And when you're in all the muck and you're just walking in muck and walking in muck and walking in muck, you don't see that if you look off to the fucking left of the muck, there's a sidewalk, brother. Get off of it. You have your head down looking in this muck. Once I saw the sidewalk, got the sidewalk, I got a little break. Then I got a different vantage point. And then from the sidewalk, I found a cliff. Then I found a mountain. I got way up high on top of my life and looked back down on it and said, okay, I got to figure this out, man. I'm not going anywhere. I'm starting to lie. So when you have a messed up foundation, I started lying about everything. I wanted people to like me. I wanted to be accepted in some society of life, some social society. And I was like, man, this isn't the right way. I messed up here, I messed up here, I messed up everywhere. And so I realized the worst thing that happened to me is I lost myself. I never had myself. I never found myself. I had no self-esteem. So I knew through working out and through learning, because it took a lot for me to learn also, I started finding self-esteem. Once I found that, that's when doors started opening up. I stopped caring about people, that what they thought, being judged. Now, if I say this, if I started right now, are you making fun of me? I stopped caring about that. And that's when my life started really changing for me, slowly but surely.
That's such an important point when you're talking about the working out, because a lot of people, when they think about working out, they think of it as being a physical thing.
Right, no. I did it for mental.
Yeah.
People always say, my God, like, no, don't look at it like, I didn't care about losing weight. I didn't care about being the fastest person. I wasn't making the Olympics. I wasn't going to pros. I could barely read and write when I was in a junior in high school. I wasn't going anywhere. I saw working out as a way for me to build calluses on my mind. I had to callous over the victim's mentality. So I watched these movies. I talked about Rocky last time I was on here. I always equated training to mental toughening. Like, it always looked brutal. People waking up early and doing all these things. It looked horrible. I was like, wow, man, I got to start doing that. Not to get better, bigger, and stronger, but that is what's going to build me. That looks uncomfortable. That looks brutal. And getting up early, I don't want to do that. So I made this long list of things that I don't want to do. And through that, I found myself. I started, I'm like, you guys aren't doing this shit in high school. You guys are getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, running over here in this golf course. So I started seeing myself very differently than the average human being. I was like, hang on a second. I have something they don't have. And that's when I started to develop these things through working out. It was this great, never-ending work ethic. And through work ethic, I developed self-esteem.
Now, is this something that you learned? Is this something you learned yourself from exercise yourself? Or is this something you had read or heard about? Like, what made you equate doing this and doing these difficult things physically to mental toughness, to being, this is the discipline that you need in order to get your life out of the situation you're in?
So I never read anything. I could barely read, so I wasn't reading back then. I watched a lot of movies, and I was really big into visualization. And I always equated working out to struggle. And I struggled my whole life, but I ran from it. So I started realizing, man, I got to start facing the struggle, and I got to be mentally strong for the struggle. So that's why I started coming up with, I'm training for life. Mentally, I'm training for life. I'm not training for, to lift 400 pounds. And I found out on my own pretty much, is that through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do, and that's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop mental, like an armor for your mind. Start to armor your mind, because your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. That's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. And that's how I started coming up. I just started being very uncomfortable. And now it's like just a way of life.
It's a crazy thing to figure out, though. It's like that you figured it out, and you didn't just figure it out, you embraced it. Like when you were talking about your senior year of high school, when you're talking about your mirror being your accountability mirror. Like, you had a radical shift. Like, you just decided to not be a fucking loser.
Right.
And to start tightening up and start holding yourself accountable and get ready for things.
So I had this my whole life. I mean, I don't know if people believe in God or what. I don't care what you believe in. There's been this unrelenting voice in my head. We all have this voice. It's the right or wrong voice. And a lot of times that voice guides us into comfort. And my voice guided me to comfort a lot. But I had this other voice I heard my whole life saying, hey, motherfucker, what are you doing? No, man, we gotta go over here. We gotta go over here to that rock pile over in the fucking corner where nobody's at. That's where victory's at. We're over in that corner. So this voice was giving me all these answers. Now, I wasn't a real smart kid growing up, but I had this crazy voice in my head saying, over there is where the fucking answers are. And I wouldn't listen to it because over there was pain. Over there was me looking in the mirror. Over there was me being accountable for all these things I went through my life. Even though people put them on me, it's now mine to own. And I didn't want to go over there by myself, but I had to. And this voice was guiding me there. It's God, whatever you want to call it, but that's what it was in me.
Do you think that's just what you when you separate yourself from your ego and what your insecurities and all you, like, if you were giving yourself advice, you would say that's what the thing is to do. So do you think that's what it was, like your subconscious, or you stripped away from all the bullshit when you couldn't lie to yourself because it's a voice in your head?
It's exactly it. It's exactly it. Because
it knew.
It knew. I was a character. I was trying to find myself through a character. I was making different hairstyles and sagging my pants, and I was off. I was off, man. I was a clown. I was a clown, and I was like, this is not where you're supposed to be in life, man. It's ugly when you look in that dirty mirror and you're trying to do a new hairstyle to go to school. You know, I had a hairstyle one time where I shaved the top of my head. You know how old men had hair, like leaving it? Yeah. So I went to school with hair on the side of my head and I shaved the whole top of my head. I went to school like that, you know. And then I had like,
what did the kids say?
I don't remember what they said, but I was just a funny dude. You know, so that was my thing. I was the funny dude that came to school like Chris Ross came out when I was in high school. So pants were backwards. That's, you know, I had my pants backwards, sagged down past my ass crack, shirt turned backwards with a toothbrush in my mouth with reverse part. Reverse part is your head shaved and you have some hair on top. It's a little piece of hair versus like a part to hair. The part was on a bald head. So it was just, I would sit at home instead of studying. I would think about what can I do to impress a motherfucker at school. Wow. And that became my life. And it's a long road to hoe to get to the guy who says, now, you don't ever smile in any podcast. It's so serious. I look at that shit like, you motherfuckers have no idea who I am, where I've come from to get here today.
You could have probably been an entertainer. Like, you probably, because you were doing all that kind of shit.
I have some jokes, Joe. I got some jokes, Joe.
You do.
So, what people read in the book is sad stories, horrible stories, tragic stories, stories they one day. But you have to learn to laugh at yourself. Once you go through that shit, so there's a lot of person that was like me against a lot of white people, you know? And I have a routine that I'm gonna do. So people who are me, I'm gonna do the routine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 crack commandments. Wow. Man can't tell me nothing.
To make it through, probably 13,000 SEALs. I was probably the 36. I was the 36th black guy to make it through, and over since like the 1940s. You know, you're looking at almost 70 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So you know, do the math on that. So there's not a lot of black guys, and so I take that and I make a nice comedy skit out of that shit. You know, like the first time they tied me up and threw me, it's called drown proofing.
Yeah.
So I'm negative boring as hell. You know?
Me too. Oh, I'm related to that big time.
Yes, you want a few white boys, man. They're negative boring. You sit like a rock. And that's hard. So imagine them getting your hands and feet, tying your ass up and throwing you in the fucking water and say swim. It was like throwing a cat in the water with fucking a brick on it. So I was just losing my fucking mind. So it's so many things I had to get over. You know, and I found humor. I found humor in my suffering. I was like, motherfucker, what are you doing out here, God? And it's like, this is crazy. Like, you're literally trying to reinvent the wheel, but I was trying to reinvent my mind. And I used every single tactic possible to do that. I didn't want to live in this world where I was a fake human being anymore. And I was tired of blaming everybody for where I was at. My dad beat me, this happened. I mean, my dad ran prostitutes, man. My dad literally snatched the soul out of my mom. Like, my mom is still battling. Like, after my mom left my dad, and this is what I'll talk about in the book, she got married 3 times for a total of 6 months. You know, and I mean, about the guy she married, So this woman, she's beautiful, she's so smart, all this stuff, man. This guy literally stripped her soul away. And I was a young kid watching it. And I had no soul to begin with. And my brother, he has a story that he could write 8 books. You know, my dad just came through and washed us all clean. So to come out, around? He died about 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, I'm not for sure. I didn't go to the funeral, but I forgave him. So I saw my dad through an 8-year-old's eyes. So we left when I was 8. And then at 22, I went back to see him through a grown man's eyes. And he was the same person I remembered. But I had to. You can't live with hate. You cannot move forward. As much as that guy tried to ruin all of our lives, that's where I came from. I had to figure out the origin of where I started from. So I was going back through my life trying to fix who I am, the fucked up person I was. Like, if your knee hurts, it's usually not your fucking knee that's hurting. It's something else, man. It could be a tight quad. It could be the right leg, if it's the left leg. You gotta find out the origin of where all this shit began. And it was him. So I had to go back to where, you know, my roots and the origin of all this happened, and it's hard to do that.
Did you make peace with him?
I made big peace with. So we didn't have a peaceful conversation. We left very animal. He's a vicious man. He was a vicious man. I mean, medieval motherfucker. So I had become a medieval motherfucker at that time. I was 22 and I was the big boy, and so I was no longer the guy who was afraid. It was now like, hey, I want to kill you, type of shit. And we were sitting at Denny's after an all-night skate or whatever the hell. You know, he owned bars and skating rinks and shit like that. And so we were sitting down and we kind of got into it, and I just kind of left. But I had to make peace with it in myself. I could not hold on to that hate, because holding on to that hate was half the reason why I kept falling into the same pattern of failing. I had to start dumping off some baggage. I had to start figuring out me through him, and that's all he was there for. He was the origin. I had to figure him out, figure out why he was so evil to my mom, to me, my brother, and I had to start studying him. Like, a lot of people have situations where someone does something, and we all attack that person, like on the media. If someone does something wrong, everybody now is fucking perfect, and we now judge this guy. I don't judge him. I don't judge anybody. What I do is I start studying.
That's not good. Whatever. As long as this is running smooth, that's all I care about. The hell is going on, man? Oh, I know what's wrong. Power source. This happened to me last time. This is not a you know, I'll just use it for my camera then, fuck it. Since it don't want to work any fucking way. I guess it makes sense. This happened to me before. too now that I think about it. I don't think it draws enough power. Help this guy out. That makes sense, actually.
Is everybody was in the car. They always called it a chauffeur-driven vehicle. Who don't know about riding around? When it is the driver, you go sit in the driver's seat, and I will call you, or I will come out here when I'm ready to go. Other than that, you sit out here. And if it's a setting where you feel more comfortable, you gotta understand, if it's celebrities, everybody got something to lose. This is not you out at the club or you out at a random house. So it's plausible that a security guard would be waiting in the car. In the chauffeur-driven vehicle, as they always labeled it. So what he's saying is, he was in the car, and then the other two women get in the car. And he said that there's an argument. He said Tory got in the car, everybody drunk. He said that he had his gun in the car. Now, let's continue listening. Okay. He said Kylie was outside at the pool and Megan and Tory was arguing. And then Tory allegedly started arguing with Kelsey. Let's keep listening. He said Megan hopped out the car and Tory and Kelsey was fighting over the gun. That's what he said. Let's keep listening. EJ, I'm right with you. So this person on this audio is alleging that Kelsey had intent to shoot Megan and that Tory tried to stop her.
Okay, let's get to work.
That's what was just said. And that the gun went off in the midst of that, and that the bullet hit close to Megan, but didn't hit her. That's what it said. Hold on. Now, let's factor in what was just said. Let's factor it.
Double vocals used twice. Double vocals used 3 times. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Number 9. Uh-huh. King posted by Jamaica's Little Life, Noel Star, or Button Stater. Oh, jewelry from Jimmy Yoda's on the jacker. The one to wind up like designer on the fucking breaker. Gotta go, Commandment 10 is one about the baker. Word up. Testing, testing. Well, let's try to wow, I really hear my mic. Let's play back some of these other vocals. Number 9 is the most important one to me. Why would I? Why should I?
Learning keyboard shortcuts is one of the best ways to improve your workflow in just about any software. It can take a lot of time to learn all the useful shortcuts, but in the end, it's always worth it. To help you become as efficient as possible using Studio One 4, I'm going to show you over 100 keyboard shortcuts. I've also created this free tool. If you don't have Excel, then you can use Google Sheets. There's also a PDF version. At the time of making this video, it includes every default shortcut in Studio One 4. You can use this for learning. You can also use it when customizing your own keyboard shortcuts. You can get this free tool by clicking the link in the description. For this video, I'm using software called Karnak. It shows what keys I'm pressing in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. The Shift key doesn't always show up, so if it's a capital letter, just know that I'm pressing Shift. Also, if you're on a Mac, just substitute Command for Control and Option.
That's all.
It's over with. Y'all beef is over. Y'all already got fought y'all differences. Shake her hand, give her a hug. Hug. Y'all only do that box. Bro, give her a hug right now. Give her a hug right now. Bro, y'all only do that box. Right. Stop being a weirdo. She's the only one that went back to the box. Give her a hug. Come on. You should fuck with her just because of that. Thank y'all. Let's go. Let's keep the party rocking. Shot. If you don't want to, you can say you don't want to. You want to. I'm not forcing on anybody. It's a great stress reliever. Right. Good. Oh yeah, we got the hungry on here going crazy. Yeah, alright. Come on, man. Alright. We got Chef in here. We got straight. Got straight. I got you. Don't worry about it. Yeah, look. Let them wash themselves so they just. Yeah, this ain't fight. This ain't that. got Butterscotch, Sexy Monday, Tuesday, Sexy Monday, Tuesday. You got 2 for $30 right now, Sexy Monday, Tuesday. What's wrong, Rock? You know feelings? Off that shit, that's why I told you not to drink that shit. That's what liquor does to you. It puts you in your feelings. You okay? Right? Sure. Good. Look, I told you don't need to drink. That shit gonna make you cry. Straight? Not straight? Breaking you down? Damn, that's crazy. Hey, Bravo, it's crazy. It ain't even 48 hours, so you make all night. Bro. Inside? Let it inside? Like it, let it in. So you stomach, you back in stomach, you stomach, and they just saying, fuck it, just go all in. Your face? You a man. You like nut in your face? Stomach and back. Where you like the nut? Your face? Inside? Stomach? Inside? Louisiana, you like the nut inside? Fuck it. Nut in it? No money. What you on? This side? Fuck it. Nut in it. So you stomach, you back in stomach, you stomach, and they just saying, fuck it, just go all in. No face? No face letters? Nobody like a face? Oh, okay. Alright. I said face, huh?
What's happening for you?
Yeah, Mr. Officer, what happened? We got a phone call that you're trying to steal a vehicle. No, that bullshit, they lied to you. I discovered this car. I'm discovering this car.
This gentleman right here is telling me, I went inside to get some water. I left my car out here in front of my driveway. And
You bullshit, you lied. It's not your car no more. I discovered it, you lied.
So you can't discover a car.
What do you mean? It's here, it's open, I get inside, discover the car. It's my car now. What day is today?
Today is Columbus Day.
Okay, and what he do?
He discovered America.
Bullshit, because somebody was already here. How you gonna discover something que alguien estaba allá? And what the first country he discovered?
He discovered the Dominican Republic in Haiti.
No, bullshit, because Pepita told me she was there already colando café when he got there. So why you lie?
Sir, I need you to get out of the car.
I cannot get. I discovered it.
No, but
Listen, I'm busy. I have somewhere to go. I discovered this car.
Sir, this is not your vehicle.
It's mine now because I discovered the stuff and I'm trying to explain to you.
Sir, I need you to
Go in and leave it. Okay, so here you go. Yeah, Mr. Officer, what happened?
Let me ask you something.
Do a new stream.